Hey everybody, my name is your host, Calvin Logan with the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. Well man, it's a blessing, it's an honor for you listening to me right now. The Logan Power Show, we are nationwide, worldwide. We are here to impact the community, make a difference for all those that are watching us. Always look us up at www.theloganpowershow.us. We're here to come into your household to make a difference in your lives. We're here to educate, we're here to uplift, we're here to make a difference in this entire community. This nation will know that to God be the glory. Jesus is the way, Jesus is the reason for the season. Today is the day to donate to us. www.theloganpowershow.us. I'm telling you right now, you sow a seed here, Bible promise return on your giving. We're here to make a difference. We appreciate all that you do. Going on YouTube, checking out the Logan Power Show. Hey, like us on Facebook at the Logan Power Show. We got our own supporterships page at the Logan Power Show supporters page. Call us today at 843-697-5545. Finally, again, email us at theloganpowershow@gmail.com. Well, I tell you right now, we're going to trust and we're going to lean on God. This show's going to make a difference. We're going to make it happen, family, and we do it together. We're going to make an impact in this nation and across the world. This is me, your host, Calvin Logan, nationwide, worldwide, the Logan Power Show. We love y'all. Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, live here at the meeting place here in Taylor, South Carolina. Well, I got with me 4 guests that are from a group called Moms Demand Action. I got with me the one and only Miss Monica Rockwell, Miss Jacki Jean, Miss Barbara Stowe, and Pastor Melanie Mcfadden. How you ladies doing?
Good. Thanks for asking.
Very well, thank you.
And I'm always blessed.
Always blessed. Well, for me, I'm excited because these mothers are demanding for action. Moms demand action. So we're gonna start first with you, one and only Miss Monica. Tell us about Moms Demand Action, how the organization got started, and why are you a part of it?
Well, I've been a mom since close to the founding of the organization by Shannon Watts, who started it after Sandy Hook occurred. And when the year that occurred, my son was 6 years old and sitting in his kindergarten classroom. And for any parent during that time, it really hit close to home because you knew it could just as easily have been your child's school. And so I think for a lot of us, that was really an impetus to join up with other like-minded people and really bring some sanity to bear on the issue of gun violence. And so that's really what spurred me to join up. And at the end of the day, I keep coming back to, we can't have a civil society when guns are so ubiquitous that every argument, every domestic violence incident can easily become a deadly incident. And just as a point to note, and then I'll pass it on to the next person, guns are now the third highest cause of death for children.
Got it. Now, Ms. Jacki Jean,
Yes.
Tell us about yourself and why you got connected with Moms Demand Action.
Well, I became an unwitting participant when I was on my 17th birthday. My boyfriend was shot and murdered and with a gun, and so that incident changes you forever. And the guy who shot him, when they went to court, he got off on self-defense, even though my boyfriend was actually running away, and he shot him in the back of the head. So I knew then that there needed to be changes, like judicially or legislatively, and also to look for people that, were like-minded like I was. I was, a struggling teenager graduating high school, and I'd had this horrific thing happen that nobody I knew had it happen to, and I didn't know what to do with all the feelings and the guilt and everything else. And that's where an organization like Moms really helps, because they have every avenue covered. They can help you with people that can help you with counseling and any type of the organization you're interested in, you can get involved in. And like I was going to say really quickly, South Carolina legislators do not pass 3930, or for the Senate, 44-9, because it's allowing anybody to have a gun without having any testing, any kind of, anyone over 21, they can open carry and conceal carry. So we really need to get people involved in this and stop this, because this is crazy madness. And they did this also for Gish Wish.
Amen. 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 Ms. Barbara Stowe, tell us about yourself and why you got connected with Moms Demand Action.
It'll be 20 years this September that I lost my sister to domestic violence. The man that killed her was a convicted felon that never should have had access to a gun. And he got out on a $17,000 bond and took a little girl hostage and was killed by SWAT. And they called it police-assisted suicide. So my family never got justice. And I got propelled into Moms Demand Action kind of accidentally. I was posting through social media my sister's story, and a Moms Demand Action member saw that and asked me if I could testify for gun provision on a domestic violence bill in South Carolina. So I dove right into it. I had the most wonderful support from Moms Demand Action. I love everything that they do and how supportive they are of survivors.
Amen. Amen. Finally, Pastor Melody Mcfadden, tell us, people, about yourself and why did you join and hook up with Moms Demand Action?
Thank you for the opportunity. I am so grateful to have this chance because I got involved with Moms because my niece died. My niece, Sandy Geddes Barnwell, went to Myrtle Beach 3 years ago on Memorial Day weekend, and she and the cousins drove up to see the bikers parades. And while they were there, some young people started fighting on the beach. While they were fighting, they started shooting. They don't fight the way we used to. We used to have fights and go home and come back tomorrow, and it's another day. But these days, they don't know how to deal with conflict.
Got it.
And so they started shooting into the crowd. My niece, who is my sister's only child, was shot and killed at 22 years old. So we lost Sandy, and my family was already impacted. We had lost my mother when I was 17 years old. She was shot and killed by her live-in boyfriend. So twice in our immediate family, we lost people that we love.
Got it.
So I had to do something.
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, a member approached me and told me what Moms was doing, and they were making a difference around the world. When the Sandy Hook tragedy happened, 26 people lost their lives, including 20 children. And something had to be done. So Shannon gathered together this large group of women. When she noticed a lot of them were moms, it became Moms Demand Action.
Yes, ma'am.
Then they connected with Everytown for Gun Sense. And after that happened, we have a large group of people, almost 4 million, all over the country, that are out here trying to make a difference with gun laws, with gun violence prevention. We want to keep guns out of the hands of children, out of the hands of the mentally ill, and out of the hands of criminals. We just want to make a difference because we don't want anybody to understand what we go through as survivors. We're survivors because we lost somebody that we love to gun violence.
Amen. Amen. And for those that are watching us right now, I want you to have an understanding that these people are serious. They're not playing. It's 4 million strong. 4 million can make a big voice. That ain't no small voice, a huge voice. And gun violence is no joke. People are dying daily. I can testify, I don't know about anybody else, this past Monday, one of my actual kids that I coach, 8 years old, another was 2-year-olds, just got stabbed, killed by their uncle. So they're getting buried today. and that's the Martin family. This kid I've taught for 2 years, Avery Martin, his brother Aiden Martin. It's an 8 and a 2-year-old. The brother, for instance, was mentally ill. The mother did everything possible, and something real small, but we don't talk about these things, mental illness, things that's going on that we should be talking about. We should be talking about that, me being a military member, a veteran. Guns, for instance, when you're taught, like at first, I didn't learn how to use a gun until I got into the military. So I joined the Marine Corps. I did the video games. I hit the X, the circle. That's the kind of guy I was, Otherwise, I didn't know nothing about it. When we got into fights, it was fist on fist. Hey, we get into our discretions. We get all messed up. And then, hey, we talk about it the next day. Hey, love you. I didn't know my father had a gun in the house until I was about 14 years old. That's how long he hid it in the house. My father kept stuff locked up. I never would have known we had a gun in the house until my father showed it to me.
Well, one of the good things about Mom's Demand Action is that they have a section that's called Be Smart. And it specifically talks about how to keep your gun safe in your home for your children, about gun locks, and about keeping them away from children, and about before you drop your child off to play with someone or to visit a relative, to ask them, do you have a weapon in your home? And is that weapon secured? And they're willing to give information. They're willing to give whatever it takes to keep children safe.
Amen.
We just want everybody to be smart.
Amen. You want people to be smart. Go ahead, Mel.
I was going to say also fairly recently, unfortunately,
You're good.
the legislature took back the cover for mentally ill, and where there was some protection for not to get guns into the hands of the mentally ill, and they have now changed it and repealed that. So that is another thing that everybody really needs to contact any of your representatives about.
Amen. 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 I think that what you're hearing is people are getting tired. I don't know about anybody else, but a mother or father should not bury their children. That's hands down. You should not have a baby funeral. You should not have a teenage funeral. I'm being honest with you. You shouldn't have those. There's no way a child should be killed. There shouldn't be a grown adult should be killed off of gun violence. You're taught, for me, understanding the magnitude of a gun. I don't have a gun in my home. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I know how to shoot. I'm probably a good shot at it. Me and my wife are great at it. But we had the understanding we just don't have it in our home. I just honestly don't. Because even if I have stuff locked up, and I'm just being, this is talking about Calvin now. This is Calvin. Your kids come behind you. They see what kind of code you put into the lockbox. How many child you haven't seen come behind you and figure out what you're trying to do and sneak behind mom and dad? Or you got things where, guns don't have no names on it. They don't have no skin color to it. And they don't have it where you can duck and hide. You can't duck and hide from a gun in certain places. I don't care how much you got on you. They said a bulletproof vest, it's the vest, and then bulletproof head, and bulletproof leg. It's not a bulletproof in your foot. So we asked legislation, and I'm coming to Congress as a man of God. I'm letting people know there are people dying out here. And the NRA, hey, you can come against Calvin all day long and say certain things, but I'm a person that I want people to be protected. It's not I'm not getting paid for it situation. It's not a benefit. These people are here for a reason. But what do you want to see change? Let's start with you. What do you want to see happen to, you guys are demanding for action to be done. What is it exactly you want for Congress to do?
Well, Moms is a lot about sensible gun legislation, and as she mentioned earlier when she introduced herself, legislation that is dangerous, that is currently being considered or will be in the next session of the South Carolina Senate and House, that would allow permitless carry. People we don't know, background check, or do they have a mental illness? Is there a reason they shouldn't have a gun? Moms is all about that sensible gun legislation and gun safety. I personally, at the end of the day, as with all social problems, or most of them, it's a cultural problem. But until we can get to and solve the cultural problem, we've got to have sensible gun laws that protect us and our children.
Got it. Go ahead.
We will also have a bill that we're sponsoring, and with other gun violence groups, to close the Charleston loophole.
Got it.
And this is about extended background checks and closing up and ensuring that you're not allowed to sell a gun online or straw purchases and gun shows, because of all the straw purchases are the most dangerous. These are people that are buying guns in bulk, and South Carolina is a major pipeline for that.
Yep.
And these guns are going up north and they're ending up in gang members' hands.
Got it.
And that's how guns are getting on the street.
Amen. Amen.
I also just wanted to quickly mention that there is a federal bill under consideration, I believe it's in the U.S. Senate, that would basically supersede all of the state laws with regard to guns, and that would be extremely dangerous. It would mean we're going to the lowest common denominator.
Amen.
And a lot of people don't think that they have a voice. You do have a voice. You need to call your senator, call your congressman. That phone call matters. Your voice is heard, because they are going to understand that they work for the people and we are the people. So we need to tell them that we don't want any more guns on our streets, and we don't want to feel unsafe in a restaurant, in a church, in a school, on a college campus. We want to know that we're okay.
Amen.
Everyone should have a voice, and you can text HONOR to 64433 and join Moms Demand Action and help us fight. We are in all 50 states. We are the foot soldiers in every single town who are taking up the NRA. We are not afraid of them. They have messed with the wrong moms.
They always say it takes one tough woman to change the world. We have a whole lot of tough women, and we mean business, because we're survivors, we're voices, we're moms. We want to be heard. We demand action. We're not going away until our families are safe. That is just ultimately important to us. We are not going away until something's done. And we want to be heard by our Senate and by our Congress, because they work for us.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
And for those that are listening to us right now, all they're asking for is for basic rules. They're asking for, hey, proper background checks. They're asking, like, hey, there's no problem you having a handgun. Let's keep it safe.
Yes.
Let's keep it safe. Let's be honest. When a fight breaks out, and we're fighting over a handgun or things like that, I absolutely believe you should always be protected. I got family members who have handguns. Understandable. Hey, protect it, put it, so conceal and carry. I totally get it. But we're talking about the senseless stuff, where there's people getting upset over something small, and you're taking someone's life, or you're getting upset about stuff that makes it's not an intruder coming into the house. We're talking about stuff that's the small stuff on the street. When people say, well, man, this gang violence, oh my gosh, I got so many guns. Well, where'd they get the gun from? They didn't buy in your local liquor store. It didn't just pop up on the liquor store. Let me know the last liquor store that had a gun for sale.
I'll just note that I just read a statistic that said approximately 600,000 guns a year are stolen. That's about one every minute. And so that's a lot of where these guns are coming from. People aren't securing them, they're getting stolen.
And that's also another legislation that was recently changed, was that you're now allowed to carry guns into bars, which who thought alcohol and guns would be a good choice together? I don't know, but we really need to stop all this crazy madness, and everybody that has a voice can speak. I mean, if you look at just the healthcare thing, what happened there, look, it was the people shut it down, and that can happen with guns as well.
Amen. Amen.
And we have to remember, every day, 93 people in the United States of America die from gun violence. 93.
33,000 Americans every year are dying in this country. If this were veterans coming back from war, there would be public outcry on this. There should be public outcry on gun violence because it's become an epidemic in this country, and we all have to speak out. We all have to fight for sensible gun laws and protect our families. We have to do this.
One of the reasons why Moms Demand Action wears these red shirts is we want gun violence to stop. Another reason why we wear orange shirts is because when hunters are in the woods, they want you to see them and they want you to not shoot. So that is why we're out here on the streets and we're in our tennis shoes, we're in our t-shirts, we're out there getting the word out because we want you to stop with the gun violence and we want you to don't shoot.
Amen, amen. I want people right now to pause, think about it. They're asking us for reasonable regulations to come in play. Means, like I tell you, it ain't the handguns. What about the assault rifles?
Yes. Amen.
I tell you right now, that can do more damage than a handgun.
Yes.
But that's more of a lower level. I can get an assault rifle and don't need to get a handgun, the way the law is set up. And I tell you right now, an assault rifle, you can do a lot more damage than a handgun. And that's being straightforward with you. When I was in the Marine Corps, we had our M4. I got my service rifle. I didn't have a handgun. Handgun, you had to be an NCO to actually get into the handgun business or use a certain job you had. But most of your time, you had a service rifle. And so I tell people right now, that's the kind of laws that all we're asking for is people who have the right mindset to do the right thing. You can have one. For those that don't have the right mindset, hey, you don't need one. You don't. You honestly don't. And I believe that's my personal take. I have kids. That's a heckified thing as a parent. I thought the Sandy Hook thing was a wake-up call. I thought like maybe if a child died maybe at your school or maybe at somebody else's school, or how young does it have to be for you to say, you know what, we had enough, let's make a change? Does the child got to be 6 months for you to say I'm gonna wake up now? Or it got to be 100 children and then you say, okay, now I see where the real problem is.
Monica is from Anderson, South Carolina. Recently, last year, we had a gun shooting at an elementary school here by a teenager. He was like 13 or 14, and had access to guns. A child lost his life on the playground where he ought to be safe. He ought to be out there having fun, playing balls, riding a swing set, and he lost his life there. And so that's a wake-up call because we all live here in the upstate, and that's important to us.
There was also a 3-year-old, I believe it was in Stowe, which is in Anderson County, who found a gun in the parents' vehicle in the driveway, a 3-year-old. So a lot of these unintentional child shootings are toddlers killing themselves or other toddlers.
And the guns in bars. Every single weekend, the news is filled with shootings at bars in Greenville. Every weekend, this is happening. And it's just nuts. Guns and alcohol do not mix.
Amen.
And what we're kind of up against is the NRA, who, in part because their natural demographic is declining, they're pushing guns where the people there don't want them, like college campuses. Most of the students and the professors and the administrators, they don't want the guns on campus. But because the NRA gets most of its money from the gun industry, they're going to push, and they're pushing hard for it, and politicians are in their pocket. So it's up to us to stand strong against it. If we don't, we'll deserve what we get.
Yet they're trying to recruit hunters and veterans now. The National Hunters Association denounced them and said they did not represent them. They actually went after women, trying to recruit them. You're not safe unless you have a gun. But a woman is 11 times more likely to be killed by her own gun.
Well,
Right, and I don't know if any of y'all saw that inflammatory commercial that the NRA put out that just played on every stereotype and every fear that a person could have in their life, and then they rolled it together like this was all happening to people and their guns were being taken away and everything. Nobody wants to take away the guns. We just want them to be safe, secure, We want people to use them in a fair and sensible manner. That's it.
And I'm a veteran, as are you. I'm an Army veteran. So I understand the Second Amendment. I have no problem with people having weapons. Moms has no problem with people having weapons. We have a problem with weapons being in the wrong hands. Hands of children, hands of the mentally ill, hands of criminals. You know, if domestic violence occurs and there's a weapon in the home, the percentage that person, somebody is going to die is extremely high.
500% more likely to die in a domestic violence situation when a gun
Is
is
in
in
the
the home.
Amen. Amen. And right now, we're just praying for all those who have lost loved ones to gun violence, to not even gun violence, just violence, period. Stabbings, weapons. You're most likely to survive from a fist fight than from a knife fight or a gun fight. I'm being straightforward with you. When weapons get involved, it's no fair play. Now, people understand, it's not like we're boxing. Sometimes I wish we go to old school, get in the boxing ring, hash it out, put the gloves on, get a referee in there, let's go round upon round. After you're done fighting this person for 12 rounds for 36 minutes, you're going to say, man, I had enough, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Can we talk about this tomorrow? I don't hate you that much. I'm tired. And the thing about it is that the realization, it's a spirit. People are dying. And the young people are dying at a rapid rate, especially when it comes to the young males. These young boys, these young males are dying at a rapid rate. So I want you all who are watching me now I want you to pray about it. I want you to have an understanding. No one's saying, for instance, not to protect yourself, but you have to have an understanding. You have to be cognitive of what's going on. It's a wake-up call. And it only matters when it happens to your home. Then you start talking. Now, if it happens with a friend down the block, if you don't care about it, that's another person. Okay, I'll move on. I'll cry for a minute. I'll give them a card. I'll give them a knock on the doorstep. But if it happened to your relative, your loved one, the wife, the husband, the daughter, the son, you're going to be in an outcry, and you'll be highly upset, and you're going to speak about it because now it's hit your home. So that's what you're talking about. It's our home. So ladies, how can people get in contact with your cause? How can they connect with you?
All you have to do is text HONOR to 64433 to join Moms Demand Action. Someone will contact you right away and get you involved in any way that you want to. We have women that are very gifted in different areas, and so we're all over the place.
And a lot of men also, so we don't want to say it's just women.
It's not
We've
just
got a lot
women.
of
We
men
have a
as women.
lot of
And the
men
rock
that are
it, too.
joining us too. We just got back from
St. Louis.
St. Louis and did extensive training with the leaders of Moms Demand Action from all over the country. And it gets larger every year. This year there were 500 state leaders that came in
550.
for training. Because we don't play. We do not play. We make sure that you're well informed and you're out there, and most importantly, we want everyone to have a voice in this. It's so important. You have a voice, you use it. This is your state. It's important that you contact your legislators every day. I have a routine every morning. I chase Lindsey Graham at every single town hall meeting and bird dog the daylights out of him. And I didn't stop there. Every morning I fix my caffeine. Stopping there, Trump got $30 million dumped into his campaign from the NRA. He is owned by the NRA. This whole Congress and Senate is owned by the NRA. And we have to stand against that. We go to D.C. and lobby. Every year we have a national vigil for survivors of gun violence and to honor our loved ones. And every year that national vigil gets bigger, but we don't stop there with the prayer vigil. We go to the Hill and we knock on the doors of our senators and our Congress members, and we hold them accountable.
Amen. Amen.
And it's important. You don't have to come out and do the rallies and do the marches and go to Washington with us if you're not available. But you can pick up that telephone. You can dial 64433 and join us. If you just want to make telephone calls, if you just want to send letters, if you want to do postcards, whatever participation that you can do, it matters, because your participation may save a life. And we need that, because we do not want you to join this club. That is the last thing we want from you. Because in order to join, you have to lost someone that you love to gun violence.
Amen. Amen. Well, those that are watching us right now, you just seen it. I tell you right now, moms demand action. And they are here. They're demanding some action. Congress, I'm calling you out right now to say, hey, hear what these ladies have to say, ladies and gentlemen. And they want a difference in their community. And for those that are watching right now, hey, Calvin, you know, this is the touchy subject. Get involved. Faith without works is dead. You can talk all day long, but unless you get to on the phone calls, unless you're on the marches, unless you're making a difference, that's how change happens. No one pretty much does anything. Unless you get out there and you say, I'm not paying for that anymore, people gonna hear you. Money talks.
It costs taxpayers $8.5 billion a year to take care of survivors who have survived their shooting. This is taxpayer money. So if we want to talk money, you're paying for it.
Wow. So, hey, that's all. I'm telling you right now, is all you need to know. Make a difference. Get connected. I promise your life will change. Well, hey, that's all the time I got. My name is Calvin Logan with the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We appreciate y'all. We love you. We'll see you on next week.
Thanks.